Hi guys. So I haven't smiled all day. I was getting into the character. I was in this tampon commercial. You don't believe me? Yeah. So I'm from Ireland. You can tell. I'm actually from India. Surprise, surprise. So I was born and I grew up in New Delhi, in Old Delhi actually, which is different than New Delhi. Anybody from Old Delhi here? Not a very diverse crowd, even if it's Orange County. So Old Delhi is different than New Delhi because it's old. We didn't have Starbucks. But it has like very narrow streets, very crowded, very much reminded me of Venice in Italy. But we didn't have gondolas, but we had cows. And it's not very romantic to propose on a cow, believe me. That's why we have arranged marriages. So growing up in India, I had a cheap father. So whenever I had constipation, he wouldn't give me Metamucil. He would just beat the shit out of me. Figuratively and literally. So in my high school, I went to high school also in India, and then we studied in co-ed, like we were studied with girls, but we didn't know how to date. So we would come up with corny Bollywood problems, like geometry problems, because nothing turns on girls like doing geometry together. And we would say, hey, when is your line gonna intersect my line? I wanna calculate the surface area of your conical figures. When is my hypotenuse gonna intersect your trapezoid? We were nerds, right? So this is the best we could do, right? So none of that worked, right? So most of us had arranged marriage. So I came to this country after my high school, and I went to Berkeley, not because it offered good education, but it offered a good deal. And as an Indian, we were programmed to basically look out for good deals. So remember, next time when you go to your 7-Eleven, just remember that, okay? And ask for a discount. And ask that, this comic Raajeev said that. So my father wanted me to marry an Indian girl, right? But the problem was that at that time, there were hardly any Indian girls in Berkeley, right? Yeah. So by convenience, I expanded the definition of Indian to Asian, right? I mean, Americans don't care, right? Indians, Asians, same thing, right? I mean, I kind of developed a yellow fever, right? But I know it wouldn't pass muster with my dad, so I ended up marrying, had an arranged marriage, and I've been married for over 25 years, guys. Thank you. I should be a comic book superhero. But one of the reasons of our long marriages, that arranged marriages, they have a motto. They don't have a return policy, right? No return policy. If there were, my wife would have got rid of me long back. So when people look at my wife and me, they get the impression that we are so happy. Right? I guess after living in this country for so long, you just learn to fake happiness. And this is not even a joke, it's a sad state of our society. But they want to know the secret of our happy marriage. And I tell them, We hired a surrogate couple in India to outsource our arguments. They fight all night. We give them the character description, Hollywood script. They get into the character, and then we describe the conflict, and they fight all night and report the results in the morning. And for some reason, it's always my fault. Guys will appreciate that, right? You know, all this gender thing, this defies culture and race and religion and all those things. When one of the things secret of our happy marriage is that I got my wife also into stand-up comedy, right? And it was a strategic decision because I thought, why fight in the privacy of our own home when we can have our arguments in public in front of you guys? Right? And you guys gonna laugh, and it's like a free marriage therapy for us. So, I was actually happy to get married to an Indian woman because married women, Indian women wear a dot. You know the dot, right? Yeah. And I find it so sexy. And also, a dot is a lot cheaper than a diamond ring. And when they came up with the concept of the dot, the idea was that men are going to focus on women's face and not check out their bodies, right? Kind of deep, right? It's like an Indian form of birth control that has failed over 1 billion times. So I told you, I grew up in a frugal environment. We were poor, but we were also frugal. My uncle is so cheap. No, are you making fun of my poverty? Oh. I don't know, kind of a different crowd, right? But my uncle was so cheap, you know, for Halloween, he wouldn't give out candies. He would just give out sugar packets. Make it yourself. It's healthier. Brown sugar. I brought home the latest batch from Starbucks. Go figure. And inspired by him, I don't buy Halloween costumes. I just put a name tag, Apu from Quick E-Mart. And for my son, Apu child number 1, Apu child number 2. So, my son, he told me he wanted to be a filmmaker. And I was worried because I tried to steer him towards family business, tech support. But, you know, it was not that funny when I wrote it. but thank you. So I said, look, beta, as long as you don't make porno movies, I'm fine. But if you do make porno movies, make sure they make some money. 50 Shades of Grey did good. 50 Shades of Brown is gonna be even better. Remember, we come from the land of Kama Sutra, so we figured all this out years back, right? So, a little bit about myself. I have a preference. I don't like Hindu doctors, you know. I'm not trusting my life in somebody's hands who believes in reincarnation. The last doctor I went to, he said, I have a perfect record. I never lost a patient. They all kept coming back. All right, guys, my name is Raajeev Aggerwhil.